Hello again, and welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. If you haven't figured it out by now and you're an idiot, I am Hammonton Mike, a.k.a. Hammonton Mike, Michaeletta, along with my partner Brian, the Ranger Attard, bringing you another absolutely freaking solid special that you're just going to love for days and days and days. It's amazing, Brian.
We're happy to be back after a couple days off, a little vacation time.
Little vacation.
We are fired up to just grab YouTube
Whoa. Easy.
What?
Family show here.
You can throw things?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. How's that?
This is fair, right, guys? Mm-hmm.
That wasn't me. It slipped. That's fine. Back from vacation. We're ready to go. We got some winners for you this week. Buckle up. Here we go. We're going to start with the first game, Steelers at the Browns. Unfortunately, Browns fans, I don't think this is a big decision. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I think the Steelers, number one, have been playing very well, even though they lost to the Cowboys last week. Antonio Brown still playing well. Le'Veon Bell, beast. Roethlisberger. Even though the Browns are home, maybe they can keep it close early like they have in the past couple games, but I don't see the Browns hanging with the Steelers at the end of the game. I'm taking the Steelers to run away.
Steelers definitely win this game. You know, what's interesting here is to see how they're going to come back from that loss to Dallas. I mean, obviously I'm pretty happy that Dallas won that game, but that was a hell of a football game.
Yeah.
Really, really was. And, you know, the way it played out, you know, Dallas scored early, and the fakes. It was just one of those great games. Steelers might be pretty pissed that they lost that game at home, so I think the Browns are going to be on the receiving end of a can of whoop ass, and we're going to go with the Steelers this week.
Okay, good.
So the next game, the Baltimore Ravens take a flight down south to visit my Dallas Cowboys, who have just been on fire. They haven't lost since week 1 of the Giants, so you can make a case should have won that game too. Dak Prescott's now officially the starting quarterback, which you can have thoughts on that. Tony Romo thought did a really very classy job. With his press conference. I think Dallas wins this game.
I think he did too.
Yeah, Dallas at home again. You know, obviously they're running the ball extremely well, making up for their defense not really being as great as it could be. But full steam ahead for the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys in this game.
I'm not going to pick against the Cowboys. I'm going to take the Cowboys too. But this is a very weird game because not that I was right with the Cowboys looking ahead from the Browns game into the to the next game, into the Pittsburgh game, kicking their ass, but they did. But the Cowboys have the Redskins on deck for Thanksgiving next week. Could this be a game that maybe the Cowboys sit back at home a little bit and say, yeah, you know what? Get ready for Washington. We're going to beat the Ravens. I do think the Cowboys win this game. I don't think it's as easy as everybody thinks it's going to be. You got to expect the Cowboys to lose one of these games coming up. Not that they've been playing bad enough to lose a game, but I mean they got to lose one of these games. You want to lose one of these games before they go into playoffs. But like Brian, I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win this game. Jacksonville at Detroit. Boy, this should be a no sellout.
So this is going to set some records for viewership.
Oh God, this should be awful.
Because this game should be in London.
You know, it's funny. Every week, I hope to God that Jacksonville comes to life and proves us wrong. Poor Princeton. I mean, he has suffered through some bad times right now. They are just playing bad. Detroit, not horrible, but not as good as everybody thinks they are either. I'm going to take the Lions at home. I mean, Jacksonville has not proven anything to me yet. I think Gus Bradley's lost his team. I think this could be he's out at the end of the season. I mean, I just think this Jacksonville team has no life, and Detroit wins this game at home.
Do you know that the Detroit Lions are currently leading the NFC North?
They are.
How insane is that? Seriously.
Yeah, when we get down to Green Bay, they stink up top.
Man, I'll take the Lions as well, just because they're home. I don't expect a lot out of the Lions going forward. I mean, again, I think Stafford's played really well. I know Marvin Jones has really tailed off from his hot start. Yeah. They don't run the ball especially well, obviously losing Abdullah to injury, but I just don't think I think the Jaguars are mailing it in.
I think
that's just reality.
I think Golden Tate only has 2 or 3 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible.
The fact that they're winning that division with Minnesota having just fallen off and Green Bay just playing awful as of late, it says a lot more about those two teams than the Lions. I think the Lions get a win here, but not really. Again, very few people are really paying attention to this game.
Yeah, exactly. Except Princeton.
Except for Princeton, right. So, AFC South battle as a surprising Tennessee Titans visit the Indianapolis Colts. You know, the Titans have been playing really well.
Surprise team, yeah.
I've been, frankly, hating on DeMarco Murray most of the year. He hasn't, he's continued to play really well. And that surprises me, frankly, having been a Cowboys fan and seeing him in Philadelphia last year. I'm going to take the Colts to win this game, but I don't really feel that great about it. I'll take the Colts because they're at home. But the Titans, I think, have outplayed anybody's expectation. I mean, I think we all had them penciled in as, another top 5 draft pick. And they're contending right now. I mean, building through the draft is working for this team. But again, I just think the Colts find a way to get this done. I love their passing offense.
We looked at the Jags so much this year. We oversaw the Titans at all. Mariota's starting to pick it up a little bit. good running back with DeMarco Murray having a great year. And even Todd Sharp getting into the picture a little bit. But I, too, think the Colts can win this game. I just think their aerial attack that they have a lot better receivers. Frank Gore can get the job done. You know, even we bad about Frank Gore at the beginning of the year. Sorry, Jim Santor, about Frank Gore being older and getting worn out. He's having a good year. I mean, he's having a solid year for them. This is what they picked him up for. I think it's the Colts win this game. Buffalo at the Bengals. And if you saw the Bengals game on Monday night, you saw one thing, that the Bengals still stink. It's just amazing to me with the talent level on this team. When was Marvin Lewis going to get the hook? The guy has gotten a pass for how many years now?
You are reading my mind. I was about to say that. It's true, though. It's so true.
It's so untrue. Yeah, it's so true. You know, you have Rex Ryan in Buffalo. Buffalo's up and down. They played well in Seattle. Unfortunately, didn't win the game on an unbelievable field goal call before the half. Everybody saw that. Know what I'm talking about. That was nuts. But, you know, I think this is another garbage game. And you know what? I think the Bills can find a way to win this game. I mean, even though the Bengals are home, I think the Bills can find a way defensively to win this game.
You know, you hear Andy Dalton may or may not play. There's some injury concerns there. But, boy, don't the Bengals need this game? The Bengals really do.
They needed the last 4 days.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think the Bills find a way to get a win, only because I don't think Dalton's really going to play, for one. Yeah. That team's just in such upheaval. I mean, again,
they have talent too.
They have a lot of talent, especially the skill positions, and it just doesn't ever seem to pan out. No. You know, Buffalo is up and down. I think I agree with you there, but just the way the Bengals season has gone, I think the Bills find a way to get a win. I mean, if Dalton plays, it's a little bit different, but I think I'll go with Buffalo as well. A game that someone to my right, actually, my left, your right. This guy over here, sorry, may have a rooting interest in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, and you know that Arrowhead's not a very exciting place to play for most teams. You know, the Chiefs, I think, have done a really nice job of overcoming the loss of Jamal Charles. You know, that they're just a team that keeps winning and winning and winning. Doesn't matter who they play. Doesn't matter who their running back is. Doesn't matter who their quarterback is. You know, I'm going to take the Chiefs here because, again, I don't think the 7-2 team is going to lose at home to a team like Tampa, who's still trying to find their feet, basically. Not a whole lot to say about this. I like the way the Chiefs are playing. They're winning a division, you know, that has Oakland and Denver in it. I mean, that's a pretty tall feat. I like the Chiefs.
Well, buckle up, my Buccaneers fans, because I'm going to have a different spin on this game. Week,
I am shocked to hear you say that.
You should be. Last week I ripped Chris Conte, and of course Chris Conte shocks the world by picking off a pass and running it in the end zone. You know, it was a luck thing. It won't happen again. In any sense, the Bucs defense has played a little bit better. Can't play any worse in the last couple weeks. They've given up 840 yards in 2 games passing. Like Brian said, the Chiefs are a tough place to play in Arrowhead. Although the Chiefs have some injuries, I am going to go with the Chiefs as well in this game. I think the Bucs need this game. I think they could win this game. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I think the Bucs unfortunately fall to the Chiefs. If they do win, hey, that's great. But unfortunately, I think the Chiefs beat them at home. I just think they have too much for the Bucs to handle. Their defense still haven't proven to me yet. Bears and the Giants. Another game, the Giants step up and win on Monday night against the lowly Bengals, and the Bears get pummeled by the Bucs. So I think the Giants are playing a lot better. I think their defense is finally coming around, the chemistry starting to flow a little bit. And I think the Bears are in disarray. You know, Alshon Jeffrey busted for 4 games now for PEDs. Doesn't help the cause either. You know, Howard back there, Carney, or Carey. They don't know who to give the ball to back there. They're trying to find some receivers open. I think you got to go with the Giants here.
You know, I think Alshon Jeffrey's days are numbered in Chicago.
Yeah, there goes that big contract. He was next year.
And I got to tell you, you know, how stupid are you? Seriously.
Stupid.
I mean, this is gonna you're in a contract year.
Yep.
This is going to be the decision that follows you around the rest of your life.
Yep.
I mean,
pretty much got up to the end of the year now.
Yeah, that's true. Giants win the game. I like the way the Giants have been playing as of late. You know, I know the Bengals have not been playing very well, but they can be a harder team to play against. I mean, they seem to be losing games, but you know, I think the Giants have a stranglehold on second place in the NFC East, and their defense is coming around. You know, they've been a second half team for a couple of years now. I like what I'm seeing out of Eli. I mean, again, will they catch the Cowboys? No, but I think that they're going to be a playoff team.
And Beckham's having fun.
But yeah, no, Beckham's, you know, asking the field goal net to marry him and having a good time.
Dance and all that good stuff. It's happening. I love it.
Guy's got a lot of talent. I think the Giants win this game.
Yep.
Cardinals at the Minnesota Vikings. Talk about two teams who have just... I mean, what is it? What do you say? I mean,
Stumbled.
everybody had the Cardinals, myself included, as like the NFC champion, and they just have not played very well. Their receivers have just, except for Larry Fitzgerald, who never seems to show his age, have just been putrid. John Brown, Michael Floyd. These guys have just not produced at all for this team, and they've been relying on their defense and David Johnson, and I don't know. The Vikings are really, really missing Adrian Peterson now. They're off. They've lost 4 straight games now, I believe.
4.
And their offense looks god awful without the running back there. And I don't know. It's hard for me to pick the Vikings in this game. I'm not going to. I think the Cardinals win this game because the wheels have fallen off of that purple train. And man, I mean, from 5-0, look where you are now, and that is just nuts. And you know who's happy about this, Mike? Eagles fans, because the Vikings continue to fall, and that pick gets higher and higher. And we said it on the show when it happened. That was an idiotic trade to give a 1st and a 4th for Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
You get what you sow.
Yeah, exactly. I think this game is going to be a defensive struggle. I think both defenses are good, but unfortunately both offenses are struggling, and especially Minnesota's badly. Like Brian said, the Minnesota offense is putrid right now. When you have the running backs that they have right now, and unfortunately Peterson went down, but you have the 2 running backs they have, they don't scare you at all. I mean, McKenna hasn't done anything, and Ostia hasn't done anything either. So, it's more like just, okay, Sam Bradford, throw and beat us. And that's what it's turned into right now. It's a showcase. I am, too, going to take the Cardinals, but I don't think this is going to be a runaway by any stretch because I'm not impressed with the Cardinals' offense either, although David Johnson is having a good year.
Great year.
I think offensively, the Cardinals are a better team. Let's go to Miami and the Rams. Boy, this should be another barn burner. Actually, I shouldn't say that because Miami has played somewhat better. Their defense has picked it up a little bit, scored on defense last week. And the Rams starting Jared Goff this week. The Goff era starts. Jay, it only took the week 11 to do that. So I'm going to take the Dolphins here, even though they're going to be on the road. Jared Goff's going to see a lot of stuff. They're going to be firing a lot of stuff at him, moving him out of the pocket. It's going to be some growing pains, and this is going to be start 1 in L.A. I think they're going to struggle in this game.
My gut tells me here, Mike, it's going to be a low-scoring game. And I say that because I'm not a big fan of the Dolphin defense, but again, it's a kid's first game. So, temper expectations there. But even on the Dolphin side, the Rams defense has played extremely well this year, and I think we all kind of thought that they would. They're very talented. Tannehill is very, very up and down. A guy who I'm disappointed in personally in Miami is Devontae Parker. This is a guy everybody thought was going to have a really, really good year, just has not had a great year. God, I really hate picking Miami to win a road game, but I'm going to take the Dolphins here because, again, I just don't know what Jared Goff is. They got to find a way to open up space for Todd Gurley, and I think that this move should have been made way earlier on. I mean, I don't think this year was going to be the year the Rams were going to contend. I don't think anybody thought that. So you got to see what you have in Goff. I mean, God, you guys look so bad for taking a kid number 1, and this is what Dolphins win the game. I think I'm pretty. I don't love it.
You heard that, Kardec. I'm taking the Dolphins.
I don't love it, but I think Miami wins the game.
Yep.
This is a really tough pick for me.
Boy,
so
you have some time for this?
Hold on a second.
Hold on.
I gotta.
Hold on.
Just give me a second. The Jeopardy music's playing in my head right now.
All right, go ahead. Think about it. Go ahead.
So the New England Patriots, who you may have heard are pretty good and are probably pissed off after losing at home to Seattle, they're going to go visit the San Francisco 49ers.
Is that east to west?
It is an east to west, but I don't care if they're playing the East Coast, the West Coast, or the middle of the ocean.
They could be playing in Taiwan.
Or on the dark side of the moon.
Exactly.
I mean, this is going to be a Patriots blowout. Sorry, Andy. Listen, they're the best team in football, and I understand that they lost at home last week. And again, that's a tough game between 2 really tough teams. They're going to have some frustration here.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing to hear about Rob Gronkowski, a punctured lung. I mean, I don't know how that exactly happened. I didn't see him. They need him, but they don't need him to beat San Francisco.
Well, they can win without him. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think this is going to, I can't imagine the San Fran staying in this game long.
What's even worse is that New England lost at home last week to Seattle. They probably should have won that game. So, unfortunately, San Francisco, the wrath of Tom Brady is coming out there, and he's not happy right now. So, believe me when I tell you, if the point spread's 20, take New England because this is going to be a blowout.
And you do not want to see Tom Brady when he's angry.
No, exactly. Next game, Eagles and Seahawks. And we're going to get this stereotype, but, I just keep defending myself here. Unfortunately, Eagle fans, I do have to take the Seahawks. Seattle is a tough place to play number 1. It hasn't been that tough this year, but I just think looking at matchup-wise, the Eagles linebackers are not good at picking up the tight end. You got Jimmy Graham playing a hell of a lot better than he did at the beginning of the year, starting to get into groove. You got Doug Baldwin, who runs great routes. And, a running game that seems to have picked up, considering they dropped, Christian Michael, but still, it's still good. Russell Wilson starting to get his legs under him a little bit, playing a little bit better. Can the Eagles win this game? Absolutely, the Eagles win this game. Is it going to happen? I don't think it is. I think going east to west coast into Seattle, still a tough place to play. I just don't like the matchups. I'm taking Seattle.
Okay. Listen, I got a Cowboy hoodie on, a Cowboy hat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, call it like it is. Seattle's a much better team than the Eagles, okay? The last time the Eagles played in Seattle, their quarterback was Vince Young. So it's been a while since they've been out there. This has all the makings of, I think, a very, very ugly game for the Eagles. I think that the Seahawks are very good at blocking what the Eagles do very well. That defense can find a way to really give Carson Wentz some looks he may not be able to have seen so far this year. They don't run the ball overly well. I don't necessarily know that the Seahawks are going to score a lot of points on them. I'm going to be very interested to see what they do running the ball. I know that, again, Christian Michael did get cut. That was a very big surprise, to be honest with you. But C.J. Prosise has been playing well, and Thomas Rawls coming back from injury. I don't know what to expect from him.
Bennett might not play for Seattle. If that happens, that's a big loss. But still, I still think Seattle has enough.
If you can go win in New England, you can beat the Eagles at home. I just don't. I can't make a rational case here why the Eagles are going to go into Seattle. They're 1-4 on the road this year, and the only team they've beaten is the lowly Bears, where everybody goes to Chicago and beats the Bears, except for Minnesota. So I'm going to take the Seahawks here. I feel pretty good about that. And that might not be a bad pick for you guys for a survivor team, because I think the Seahawks run away with this one. There might be some defensive scores.
Yeah, it's not like it's a look-ahead game either. The Seattle Seahawks go to Tampa Bay next week, so it's not like it's a look-ahead game for a massive opponent. So
I just don't.
The only way that the Eagles have a chance to win this game is because Seattle comes back home, smelling themselves a little bit. Eagles take advantage of it, but I don't see it happen.
So we go from Christian Michael's old team to his new team. He was picked up by the Green Bay Packers today, and they're visiting the Washington Redskins on Sunday night. Man, how many people either A, lost some money, or B, lost their survivor pool this week when picking Green Bay in Tennessee?
Yep.
Wow. I don't know if you could pick Green Bay with any sort of confidence. Again, they're walking into Washington, who has not really played overly well. They did get a win last week against Minnesota. It's a tough game for me to pick. I'm going to take Green Bay here because I just think Green Bay's got to get off the schneid. I mean, they have not played overly well. I mean, offensively, I really do think the lack of a solid running game has hurt them because they're becoming very predictable offensively, and the defense has not played very well to compensate for it. We'll see if Chris and Michael get some carries. I think James Starks might be coming back. From a Redskins standpoint, again, even their running backs are in flux. Looks like Robert Kelly's going to get the start again, and we'll see what he can do. I'm taking Green Bay just based on I just have faith in Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I could be easily wrong about this, but I'm going to take Green Bay in the national spotlight of the Sunday night game.
I hate to say it, they're all valid points, but I think I'm going the other way. I'm taking the Redskins. I just think that Green Bay has not proven anything. We picked them at home against Dallas. We picked them on the road. We're always saying every week that Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, they're all going to come back. They haven't done it yet, and I don't know what is going on in Green Bay right now. Maybe it's because he's dating somebody or he's getting engaged or whatever it may be. But I just don't like Green Bay this week. I think Washington's playing a lot better. Say what you will about Kirk Cousins. He's getting the job done in Washington right now with that team. And that defense is not a defense to sleep on. They are not a bad defense. With Josh Norman finally getting controlling that secondary back there, which I didn't think he was going to do this year. But, you got a lot of good defensive push around the ends. I mean, Washington is a good team. Make no mistake about it, Eagle fans. Washington is a good team. I think they get to win the Packers. And the Monday night game this week is the Texans at the Raiders. The Texans finally break through last week and finally win on the road. And the Raiders lead the division. It's amazing to me right now. We said they were going to be good. Actually, it's not amazing because we said they were going to be good. I thought they could win a division. Didn't think they would be there this early, though. Denver has kind of fallen off a little bit, and Kansas City's not in the chase yet. But I think the Raiders could pull this out in Oakland. Texans, okay, can they win 2 in a row on the road? I think that's a tall task for Houston right now, for Houston right now. Osweiler hasn't proved that much this year except at home. On the road, Derek Carr at home, playing well with Amari Cooper. The running attack is okay, but Crabtree and Cooper again. I'm taking the Raiders.
I've gained a lot of respect this year for Jack Del Rio.
He's done a hell of a job there.
Yeah, the guy's really, shown some gumption in tough spots, taking some risks that have worked out for him. Yeah. I like the Raiders as well. You look at Houston, and unfortunately, their pass catchers. It's not even DeAndre Hopkins' fault. It's Brock Osweiler sucks. Yeah. And the fact that this guy's locked in there for a couple more years, this might be a very expensive cut at some point for the Texans. Are they really going to waste a lot of these guys' careers waiting for Brock to come around? They just cannot seem to get a quarterback. Yeah. And it's frustrating for Texans fans. I mean, every year that defense is so good. Even missing J.J. Watt, the defense is so good, and they just can't seem to get it.
Keeping them alive, the opposite.
Yeah, you gotta love what you're seeing out of Oakland so far. I mean, again, that offense is playing fantastic. I mean, Derek Carr. I mean, he just continues to play well.
Ronnie Dorsey, you got to be happy.
Absolutely. No, I think the Raiders win this one hands down. I don't think that the Texans are going to be that competitive, and I just think this is going to be one of those nights in Oakland that everybody really enjoys because they should win this game pretty handily.
You know, why don't we go down the college schedule for all Saturday too? While we're I forget. We'll do another show. Yeah, that's all the time we have for winners this week. We want to thank you for watching. Sorry we were off last week, but you know what? We're back. We're fresh. We're happy. We're always happy. So remember, we always have good stuff coming.
And of course, now that we are back, we're bringing you fresh content. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at SportsBuck Show. Make sure you're liking us on Facebook, where we post all of our videos whenever we get them done. And of course, the YouTube channel, where everybody but you apparently has subscribed to it. So why don't you join the crowd?
We got all that?
Everything for our fans.
Why aren't you on the wagon? So remember, at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters. Brian?
I think it's here. I'm not sure.
It's right freaking here. It's only here.
I'm sorry, I missed that. It is
here for crying out loud.
And so is some need for anger management, apparently.
God forbid. Thanks, folks, for watching. See you.
Don't forget to subscribe.